So here I'll continue to go through the second of two boxes in this collection that I bought in July 2024. I was expecting it to be all commons and uncommons. We got some pretty good rares here from Coruscant. So haven't gone through the Dark Side Coruscant yet. I'm guessing they're in here. So hopefully when we get to those, we'll maybe find some more Interrupt rares. This collection from the first box looks like it's going to have a lot of Coruscant in it, which is exciting. One of my favorite sets for sure. I actually really do like episode 1, so had a lot of characters and themes in it that I thought were interesting. Coruscant had a lot of the Jedi Council, had the Senate. You could do Senate objectives, and I actually don't mind the Galactic Senate scenes. I didn't think they were boring. And then introduced Destroyer Droids. And I always thought they were cool. Playing Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, I really like Destroyer Droids. It's the Star Wars version of Age of Empires. Alright, so a bunch of special edition. There's some cards tucked into the side here too, so we'll see what those are. Death Star 2 now, so we're going to get probably some decent characters here. That looks like a full slate of characters, including this guy, who's probably the best uncommon character in this set. He's the pilot of Saber 2, and he was virtualized into Merrick Steele's his name, who's the pilot from the TIE Fighter games. That reminds me that I bought those TIE Fighter games. I can play them on my computer now, but I kind of forgot to give them a try. I played it years and years ago. It would have been the late 90s when I finally gave it a try. But never really got into it, although I did get into, what's that called? X-Wing Alliance. And did pretty well until the last mission where you gotta fight the second Death Star. I don't think I ever did beat that one. It's funny, speaking of the second Death Star, here's the... I would blow it up, but that I wouldn't make it out in time. The Death Star would explode before I could make it out. Obsidian 10. Alright, so only a couple Onyx 2s. Pretty good card, but I mean, Death Star 2 is a really neat set. A lot of the commons and uncommons are unique starships and pilots, and that's not super typical in a lot of the sets. I guess Premiere had that, and A New Hope had that, but yeah, for the most part, Death Star 2 is the set you go to for all that. And it looks like I'm gonna be able to make some common and uncommon sets, and I'm sure I have enough. Well, we'll see, because sometimes the gaps I have are the gaps somebody else has in their collection. But we'll see if the extra cards I have can fill in those gaps to make a set. A lot of pilots, dock mechanics, gunners. There's even a few commandos in this set. Most of those were in Endor, though. Okay. When I check out the cards on the side, looks like they're New Hope. That guy, I hope it's not bad. Oh, it's a sabotage. Well, I didn't actually bend it that bad. Didn't quite sabotage it. Okay. I thought these two systems look really cool. Just Kashyyyk and Raltier, they're neat looking systems with the clouds there. White Border and New Hope uncommons, those are good to get. Mission, still a useful card, although the combos probably played more. Took a bit too big of a handful. Oh, that's the end of the Death Star 2, so I guess I'll go through all this now then. I don't know if I can go through this, but okay. Our Only Hope, that's a nice card. Blue Squadron 5, good. It's an uncommon, but really fun starship to play. Being a B-Wing, it can fire as many weapons as it wants. And we're into the Coruscant, so this is going to be where we see how much of the really good stuff we got. So a lot of these uncommons are basically rares at this point in terms of, you know, a lot of Coruscant uncommons sell for a lot more than most of the Premier through Jabba's Palace rares. Tehau's a good card, being able to reduce force drains. So we got all the senators. This guy's kind of neat, being able to use 2 force to add a battle destiny, but you gotta kind of gamble to see if you draw it or not. And I always like this card. You could peek at the top card of your opponent's reserve deck and lose 1 force to make it lost if you want. So you can send a really important card to the lost pile. And even if you don't, you can see what their destiny is. I think I almost always lose the force. Enter the Bureaucrat. So pretty much 4 of every uncommon there. That's good to see. I don't think there was any Theed in that collection. I think I knew that going in. I was okay with that. But the big amount of Coruscant makes up for it for sure. So far not seeing any rares. Although the Moidian Advisor almost is a rare. It's an uncommon. Alright, so those are our rule cards. Lots of those. Lots of those. Alright. I saw even more in there. Alright, that's good. Because I was running low on these, selling them in sets. We get a bunch of locations for 3 Malice Stairs. We get 4 Naboos, 4 Naboos, 5 Naboos. Ooh, nice. 5 Naboos. Okay. It's probably a $10 card. Because you need it to play the invasion deck. If you don't have that, you don't have a chance. There's other decks that it's used in being a 2 force drain system. Alright, how we do on the objectives? 3 of one, 4 of the other. Nice. Check these guys first so they don't fall down. More New Hope, it looks like. Kind of a neat idea. They named a Tusken Raider and then put his rifle on here. But yeah, I mean, it's good for hunting creatures, but not much other than that. Okay. Nice. Battle Droid Blasters. Alright, so this is like a $20 card. Let's see how many there is. 2, 3, 4. Alright, 4 of them. Nice. So I was hoping for 4. Well, hoping for more, of course, but with the 4 of everything, it's good that there's a bunch of those. And now we're into the light side characters. I feel like I just went through a bunch of light side Coruscant. Maybe it wasn't the characters. Okay. Yeah, an uncommon Jedi, which I thought was kind of funny. They made a Jedi Knight uncommon. That's a good card. Yeah, so, ooh, she's a rare. So 3 of her. And we're in the effects. What is that? Oh, that is a rule book. Didn't feel like a card. So some political effects. Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be 3, pretty close to 4 common and uncommon sets of Coruscant, which is awesome. Definitely happy about that. Alright, now we're into Premier, which is less exciting, but we'll see if... Okay, so there's a sense. It's white and black border, but going from Coruscant to white border Premier is often pretty underwhelming. 3 Star Destroyers in real nice shape. That's a cool looking card. Central Cool. So a bunch of locations. Get a bunch of devices. Yeah, I know I'm skipping whole cards, but I don't know. I'll go through this again at one point, but I kind of feel like if there was something really good in there, I'd see it flipping through. Kind of a neat text on him canceling game text of C-3PO and R2-D2. And, I mean, he's a good pilot on the Devastator. 2 ability, adds 2 to its power, and then also 1 to its hyperspeed. Not a bad card. I always thought these guys were cool, the TIE pilots. They die like chumps, but according to their lore, they're pretty expert pilots. It's kind of the same thing with Boba Fett. He was this just this so cool looking guy and intimidating, and then he kind of goes out like a clown. Getting hit on the back, having his jetpack fly against Jabba's sail barge, and then getting eaten by the giant Sarlacc. It's kind of funny because I liked the Boba Fett show, at least when he was hanging out with the Tuskens, and at the end it was just, gosh, it felt like a half-hour action scene of him riding around in a Rancor and just stuff getting smashed. And yawn and just think about it. But in the Star Wars Miniatures game, he's a really fun piece to play. They made all sorts of versions of him. That's kind of the other thing I sell in my eBay store. So we're back to Special Edition. It's kind of funny how these are organized, because it feels like I don't know. I wonder what the pattern is here. I mean, they're basically in alphabetical order, but it's a mix of light and dark and then card types, and it skips some, so I wonder what brought that about. It could be by rarity. I didn't think about that. So maybe I'm in uncommons right now, or rapid fire. Well, this is commons, I think. Okay, and he might have told me that even, now that I think about it. But yeah, so I must have gone through uncommons before, and now it's through commons, maybe. Wasn't paying attention. So rarity. So the sorting was rarity, then, this is just a guess, rarity, and then set, and then alphabetical. I think this was on the front of the row. This wasn't sorted. I'm going to set him back to the side just because I don't want to break the special edition streak here. If that's going. So they introduced a lot of sites in special edition. Basically the 2.0 version of the game. I always thought B-Wings were cool. But kind of a dumb text in terms of losing an orbital mine. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use an orbital mine. Guess it's probably a good thing they're in the game, though. One of the cooler looking starships. Good that orbital mines are in the game, just because, I don't know, those existed in Star Wars. They sure were annoying in the TIE Fighter and X-Wing games. So I might as well make a card of it, even if nobody ever uses it. Alright, so Cloud City. Definitely going to speed through that. Sorry if you're a big Cloud City fan. We can at least admire Imperial Decree. Stormtrooper looking all orange. That actually is a pretty good looking card. They made a foil of it too, a tournament foil. Alright, so lots of Cloud City. Probably make 4 Cloud City sets out of this. Common, uncommon sets, I should say. Now we're getting down to the end here. Well, see, I guess for this, maybe it isn't. I gotta think some of these are uncommons, like the Trooper, and I think she's an uncommon. I don't know for sure, though. I haven't really... I mean, I can pretty much tell the difference in rarity between rare and common and uncommon for every card in the game, but between common and uncommon, I really never paid much attention. Okay, well, this is... Well, even that could be a common. I'm pretty sure that's an uncommon, so maybe my guess as to the organization was off. So lots of Light Side, Cloud City. Neat looking card. Alright. Getting down to the last section here. Looks like we got Dagobah. I mean, the light side, there was only 2 characters in the set for the light side, not Anakin, jeez, Luke and Yoda. But the dark side had a lot of cool officers that they named and gave backstories, just guys that were there. Mostly all they did was look up scared at Vader. So Space Slug for the dark side's an uncommon. The light side ones are rare. I actually do like this card. If it's hit, it can't be used to satisfy attrition. That's fun in Destroyer Droid decks. You can clear a site real fast with that. Control. Fear. I like this card. 2 force from hand or 1 force from the top of the reserve deck. So you lose 2 cards you know or 1 card you don't know. Kind of sets up an interesting choice. Got to make them take a risk. Ooh, this one's got some water damage to it. It's just a common or uncommon, but I don't know if that's going to necessarily show up on the camera all that well. On the left side there. Okay, I think I got it there. Yeah. But I've done that before with cards. It's been a long time. I tend not to keep liquids around my cards anymore. Or if I'm sorting cards, like for my eBay orders or whatever, I'll have my coffee on a separate little end table rather than on the sorting table. That way, if something bad happens, my carpet gets it, and not the cards. Proton bombs. Yeah, sending TIE bombers down to bomb the light side is interesting. Haven't done it much, but it's at least interesting. Not quite as interesting as vine snakes. That's a joke. I don't think that they're that interesting. Although, making somebody power 0 and then having them get on a speeder bike, that'll make them be lost. Well, actually, attach the vine snake to them. Get them on the speeder bike. The speeder bike makes them power 0, and they go lost if you need to kill somebody on your own team. Somebody you need to send out a blade, for example. Lots of Dagobah here. This is still a useful card to this day. Really useful for the Falcon with Han piloting, and other ships too, like the Outrider with Dash. I almost said Wedge. Wedge is a Corellian, so I guess it would work with him too. I think. Yep, any starfighter may not move immune to attrition, and power +2 if powered by any Corellian. Jedi tests. Anowit system. Definitely looks cool with the asteroids in the background. I wonder if, I'm going to take a super look right now, but okay, I guess it's not the exact same asteroid field. If they just put Anowit over the asteroid field, well, what if it's upside down? Oh, that could be the exact same one. I don't know, I can't exactly tell. But I wouldn't blame them if they took that shortcut. I believe Anowit is ready to go in Dark Forces when all those probe droids are hunting you in the sewers. Okay, so that's this box. The last box is going to come in the next video. I'll probably do that in 2 segments as well. That is going to be pretty much all the rares. So we had, well, just a handful of rares, but I mean, some pretty good ones. And then all those Coruscant commons and uncommons, which were awesome to see. So a lot of Coruscant. I'm pretty happy so far. I think that the rares are going to be pretty good. So hope you tune in for those. Thanks.